Gemini, good morning, Gemini. Today we are doing your reading. We're starting off with you. Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. We're taking a look at the energy of this new year, 2025, that's coming in and being so kind to us. I did take the liberty of pulling out your oracle cards. I'm using my numerology deck. Also my Hidden Realms Wisdom Oracle deck and the Tarot of Oppositions. And so I pulled out your numbers. We have number 67 with physical activity, number 13 with effort, the master number 33 with communication. And we know that that is in fact your element, the element of communication, Gemini. Then we have the master number 99 with compassion, and then the number 16 with rebirth. Usually I pull like 3-4 cards at the most. For you, Gemini, 5 cards came out. And so it's a lot going on for you in this new year, lots of good things. This might be a time where you are initiating or especially being very active. It could have something to do with maintaining good health, wanting to maintain good health, implementing or continuing, maybe even up-leveling when it comes to some physical aspect of your routine. There's some physical activity. This could be needing to initiate some physical activity for you, Gemini, for 2025. You may have set your mind on doing this for yourself. Also, I do feel like with the master number 33 coming out, like being in your element. The master number 33 is all about leadership. Being that communication is your strong suit, that is the very element that you are, Gemini. There's a lot of authentic energy that's coming in for you right now. You may be definitely very strong, right? Entering into this new year and have very solid connections with yourself and with others and how you are showing up. It feels very authentic. In general, the master number 33 is all about really embodying that energy of leadership, the energy of authenticity, and feeling good about that, feeling comfortable in that space, and being able to translate that outwardly, right? It's all about communication. It's all about translating that. It doesn't mean that it's being spoken, but even in how you're carrying yourself, there's a level of leadership that you're giving off. You're giving off that vibe. And so I do feel like you're really strong starting this year. You could be very resolute with what it is that you see for yourself during the year. And you could be starting off just with this very solid energy, this solid expectation, this solid resolve when it comes to stepping into 2025. It feels really good. Now this master number 99 is that's a whole different level. This is the overall enlightenment almost. This energy is an energy, it's really defined with the word compassion, but it's so much more than that, so much deeper than that, because it really is, it's actually an enlightenment that many times when we talk about master numbers, we're talking about people that align with these numbers, these life path numbers. The only way to reach a 99 would almost be like being at the precipice of transcending over into the next lifetime, coming to that place where you come to the sheer awareness of all enlightenment. I don't know if someone is on the verge of even passing over. That could be it, but this type of energy right here is definitely out of this world. It's almost like coming to oneness with everything, a sense of knowing everything, having everything aligned with enlightenment and knowing. And it's all about humanity and seeing the greater good and the bigger picture around humanity. This is really, really big energy, Gemini. And so I don't know if someone might be on the verge of kind of transcending over and you're watching this. Wow. Like, I'm most definitely honored to have you watching today, if that is you. But there's a great sense of just spiritual presence that comes in with this 99. It's beautiful. I'll tell you that. It's very beautiful, Gemini. And then rebirth. There is definitely transformation that's coming out here. And that it could be that energy of transcending over to the next part of your journey. It could be that you're at a point in life where many things are actually about to change in a major way. A rebirth means an ending coming to something while you're entering into new seasons, right? So 2025 could definitely bring in lots of new experiences for you. You could be, dead smack in the middle of a transformation right now and being very aware of it as well. So let's go ahead and dig into our tarot of oppositions and see what comes out in the tarot for you, Gemini. And if I have not said so, welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. Please like, share, comment, subscribe if you would consider doing so. Make sure that you hit the bell so you're notified in case we go live, okay? Again, thank you for stopping by, Gemini. All right, for Gemini. I'm hearing Spirit say, Gemini, that for some of you, you definitely have your work cut out for you. But to get even more specific, let's see what comes out for you in the energies, okay? So we have the Moon and the Five of Wands, both on the light side. We have the Death on the shadow side and the Ten of Swords coming out here. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune on the shadow side and the Ace of Wands coming out on the light side. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. So taking a look at the Five of Wands and the Moon, first of all, as I said, it feels like you may have, for some of you, your work cut out for you, especially as it pertains to making sure that you stay on track and you're not distracted by petty disagreements, that will take you into places that would not be beneficial. Like, this is stuff that will cause you to be shattered in your energy, scattered. It's really not going to be anything beneficial. And so this could be things coming up that you don't see coming, that possibly have the ability to kind of take you by surprise and knock you off balance. This is a time with the Moon coming out to really allow yourself to be immersed in in something that's going to provide that balance, especially emotionally. I can't help but feel like the moon is something that talks about influence over the emotions. And so this is a time as you enter into the new year to be on guard, to expect, challenges to come out, and in expecting it, like have plans in place in case things happen unexpectedly so that you don't get thrown off course or thrown off balance. And doesn't mean that these things are going to come bursting in like, here I am to throw you off. The moon is subtle, and it talks about subtle things. It talks about unconscious things that you may not even see clearly, yet they're there, right? And so this is to be aware of your own emotions, of things that will subtly come in and possibly have the ability to disturb you emotionally. And I say disturb because we have the Five of Wands out here. And the Five of Wands usually, even though it's on the bright side, we're talking about having a lot of energy, but needing to direct that energy intentionally. Otherwise, there's a waste of energy, right? One of the things that comes out with the Five of Wands is like scattered energy. It's like just energy just being used unusefully, unconstructively. And so the Five of Wands reminds you to make sure that you be intentional with how you're using your energy, even as it pertains to dealing with difficult situations, like to be intentional. And in those situations where conflict arises or challenges arise, just understand that not everything is about you. Not everything is coming to actually challenge you. Just because things or people don't agree, that doesn't necessarily mean they are challenging you. People can have a different, understanding of things. People can have a different opinion about things. It doesn't mean that they're coming against you or that they're challenging you or that they want to fight. Okay. And so this is like just being wise with how you use your energy, Gemini. And I feel like this brings in that energy of being resolute and with what it is that you've chosen to do. I feel like that's a strong energy coming in for you at the beginning of this year. It feels like you have in mind solid plans on what you want to see or what you want to bring to pass this year. Stick to those things. Make those things your primary focus and pour your intention into those things. It said those that actually have a goal are less likely to be distracted. And so, yes, go with a goal, Gemini. Now, this death in reverse, or the death in the shadow side, does talk about that transformation that we mentioned. I feel like there's going to be a lot of things that may, in fact, show up this year, and it may feel like they're out of your control. It may feel like life. There's going to be moments where life feels like it's out of control, when in fact it's not. There's some times where changes happen, necessary changes, and spirit enters in with this change because these possibly are places where it's been difficult for us to make those changes. And so spirit comes in with a little bit of extra help to make those changes. Otherwise, we may have never been able to make them, right? And so death on the shadow side talks about changes that are non-negotiable. These will happen. There will definitely be transformations that happen this month. Now, the fact that it's coming by way of the Ten of Swords may, in fact, say that these are going to be difficult changes. These may be forced changes. And these may be things that actually are not necessarily going to feel good, but the result is going to be good. These changes are going to be things that renew our perspective and renew our mind. And it may, in fact, bring changes to where we are physically. A change in place, a change in our tribe, right? The people that we're connected with, those types of changes are coming in this year, and they may not be comfortable changes. It may be things that if we had it our way, we wouldn't make the change. Nevertheless, Spirit has already decided that these changes are necessary and that they will happen. And so this could be like things around job placement, where you're working, who you're working with. It could be relationships that are changing this year. But remember that these changes are coming in for the better. It's for your good. Okay. And though it doesn't feel good, the results are going to be good. Okay. For you. As these changes come in, there's a need for you to be very compassionate with yourself and patient, especially as it pertains to things that may incite some level of fear or resentment, right? Be patient with yourself. Allow yourself to feel it, right? It's natural, and allow them to pass, okay? This could also have something to do with habits that have long needed to go, have long needed to break. There may be things that Spirit is implementing within your life this year that's going to break you free from those things. Again, as I said, uncomfortable, nevertheless, very beneficial. Okay. And then lastly, we have the Wheel coming in reverse and the Ace of Wands. Yes, the Ace of Wands and the Wheel. The Wheel is on the shadow side, and it's still talking about, again, difficulties when it comes to changes. Difficulty when it comes to changes, and things that you may interpret as being unfair, even going into this new year. These may be things that you pulled in from 2024, things that may not have turned out the way that you've desired or the way that you intended or you thought they would. There feels like a little bit of not regret, but just reluctance, a little bit of reluctance as we enter into this new year, because there's things that could have happened that actually halted some things that you were working on, or some ideas or some plans that you had, or possibly slowed them down. There could have been things that came in that affected you in some type of way. This could be things like sickness, or some type of tragedy that happened to someone around you that affected you. It affected your movement, and even could have affected, or somebody could have been infected with something. God forbid, right? That did come out. You could have been infected with something. There's a bit of reluctance I'm feeling, or this could have affected you in some type of way to kind of slow down your momentum. And so as you enter into this new year, this change is something that you're just kind of really coming to grips with. And I feel like through that, you've set higher goals and expectations for yourself. Your resolve is actually stronger as you come out of these challenges. And this is important for you to understand that some of this could, in fact, have to do with the law of karma. When we deal with the Wheel of Fortune, We're dealing with the law of karma. We're dealing with destiny. We're dealing with higher forces at play within our life. Now, when I say karma, be very careful, because it doesn't always mean it's something that you did. Karma can actually also extend back generations as well. And so there's something that needed to play out here. And you were the actual vessel for this to play out. Doesn't mean that it was not something that you did that's coming back around, but there's something that needed to be settled, is what this is saying. And that's what I'm feeling is happening here. And it's not wrong. This is justification. Spirit is saying what has happened here. It's been difficult, this change. And in the long run, though, it's going to make a lot of sense. And you're being guided to be open and understanding. And if you're not, ask for understanding, when you don't understand something, okay? Don't be angry, or don't try to play the blame game, but really seek truth, Gemini, in your situation. Many times all we have to do is ask, and those answers will be made plain to us. Because that's the very energy, I feel like, with the Ace of Wands coming out, that's actually allowing this rebirth. It's allowing this new desire to be born in you, this new level of inspiration and spontaneity. The Ace of Swords also talks about a rise in the opportunity to create new ideas, right? New projects, new energy flowing in. The Ace of Wands also talks about being a little creative with your energy, especially as it pertains to passionate sexual energy. You can actually utilize that, not just in a traditional sense, but you can utilize that energy as a source of your creative flow. And so I challenge you to try that, right? Instead of using that energy in a normal sense, actually try honing in that energy to whatever it is that you're creating right now, whatever it is that you're focusing your energy in, and see how that works for you. Okay, Gemini? Let's take a look at any guidance that's coming out for you as we end your reading, Gemini. Any guidance or advice for Gemini? Let's see. Guidance or advice. Guidance or advice for Gemini. All right. Okay, so we have the Swan Queen, the Hungry Ghost, and the Wise Woman of Wonderland. And so in the advice, in the guidance coming from Spirit, again, transformation is coming out. And the energy of trusting your intuition, trusting or even needing to delve within yourself to find that center. If you're finding it difficult to trust things right now, this is absolutely a time to get deeper acquainted with yourself. The energy of intuition is coming out, which means there is a need to make sure that your connection with your higher self is solid, right? The last thing we need during a transformation or a transition into another part of our lives is, to start feeling the energy of disconnection with self, or distrust with self, or, you know, just energies like that that will separate us from our higher self. And so this is a time actually to really hone in and understand not only when and how to connect with yourself, but to trust what you're feeling. And whenever there is messages coming in, to trust it, okay, during this time. And to be patient with yourself. Transformations are definitely difficult depending on how deep of a transformation. The energies that came out for you means that you're going through some very deep transformations right now. There could be things that have been on pause for you for a while, right? That's transformation because things are changing, right? They're going from one state to another. And for some people, that could look like a couple of weeks. For some people, that could look like a couple of years, right? But the important thing about that time is this is time where you're actually learning more about yourself. You're learning to trust yourself on a deeper level. You're being turned inwardly, right? Especially when everything outside of you seems to be blocked off, like you have nowhere but to turn but inward. And so this is a very important time for you to really get acquainted with self and to trust yourself like never before. This could also be a time of breaking away from things that no longer serve you. Like maybe there was some things that were appetites that were out of control, maybe some obsessions that are being dealt with right now. This could be around how we think, showing you something different, something new, introducing new ways of being, right? To introduce possibilities that maybe you just never knew about or you weren't acquainted with for some type of reason. This is introducing new ways of thinking of what's available and possible for you. And along with that comes the need to release the old way. Because you can't have two things that are opposite existing in the same place, right? And so I feel like this has a lot to do with the mindset, renewing how you think, and really coming into your power too. Coming into your power as well. There's a lot of empowerment that's happening here, and possibly even realization about yourself as well. And so there is a severing of old ways of being, of old ideas. That's a process. That doesn't just happen overnight. It's a process. And many times it's accompanied with things, with events, you know, with occurrences, with circumstances, right? And so all of that is playing a part in this transformation that's happening for you right now, Gemini. On the other side of this, you know, it's going to be worth it. Things will become clear. I think right now Spirit is really wanting you to concern yourself with the energy of making sure you're being true to yourself, to what you're feeling inwardly about yourself, and being honest about your feelings. There's a sense of integrity that Spirit is bringing up here with the wise woman of Wonderland, because I feel like where you're being taken possibly may have a higher level of responsibility, a higher level of integrity. This could be where you are right now. The 33 did talk about that energy of leadership, of having some kind of influence around people. The danger of that 33, this beautiful energy, the master number 33, on the flip side of that, some of the negative attributes of that number is having a false having a false sense of being, like having a mask on, not really being who you are presenting yourself to be. That's the danger or the negative aspect of that 33, which is very much aligned with your energy, Gemini. It talks about communicating, not just from the mouth, but even in your being. There's a communication that's always happening. And Spirit is saying that there's a level of integrity that you're being called to right now through this transformation. That's part of this. It's bringing into the alignment of integrity here, so that you're not displaying someone that you're not, someone other than who you truly are, because your power is in your authenticity, you showing up in your true self, right? And so the integrity that Spirit is bringing up here has a lot to do with you standing in who you are, in your authenticity, and feeling okay with that too. Not having to feel like you have to compromise that to people please, right? Because who Spirit has called you to be, who you have been really created to be, that is where your power lies. That is where your success lies. Nothing less, nothing more. You don't have to fluff it up. You don't have to pull back or hide, right? It's in exactly who you are. And I feel like when we come to the point where we realize that, the weight is lifted, is what I'm hearing Spirit say. And that's what Spirit is bringing us to right now, Gemini, to the point where we don't have to pretend, right? We don't have to shirk from the spotlight. We just have to be who we are naturally. Nothing more, nothing less. That's where your power is, okay? And that's all that's required for this that you've been called to do. For those who you've been called to, that's what this transformation has been all about. And so this is really beautiful energy. It's high level energy, I'll say that. And so going into the new year is actually going to be rather eventful. A lot of that is going to be internal. It's how you're interpreting that and what you do with that, right? That's actually going to determine how this plays out for you. But all of the energy, all of the support is here. This is the time to really be compassionate and patient with yourself, okay? Transformation is not easy. It's not, okay? And so this is for you, Gemini. Thank you so much for stopping by. It has been a pleasure reading for you. It has been Blood Moon Oracle. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe if you haven't. If you're looking for a personal read, this was a general. You can hit me up in my email. Let me know what you need. You can go over to my calendar and just schedule. You can comment, right? Let me know what you need. I am here. Blood Moon Oracle at your service. Until next time, let's do this, Gemini. All right. Take care. Bye.